YouTube, how the fuck you doing? Hey guys, Nate Shot. Today, I'm bringing you a brand new video, and if you guys asked me 2 months ago if I was going to be making a video like this, I would have told you were absolutely crazy. Things change, people change, situations change, so I'm gonna cut straight to the chase. Basically, I am going to be taking a break from competitive Call of Duty, a leave of absence, if you will.
Leave of absence, that was the storyline after Champs.
Video that shocked the world.
It did. A lot of pressure really on Nate Shot's shoulders. He felt like the team needed a little bit of a fresh start or a fresh kick after Champs, and a lot of people very, very surprised. Some people not so surprised, but it happened. And Optic Gaming, of course, they adapt. They pick up a new player to just kind of enhance this squad. The new OG, of course, Scump, Karma, Crim, and Formal. 2-time world champ right there being added to the OG squad. But had he really had that much success in AW at this point? Honestly, not really. It was a simple trade though, of course. You know, Karma being on Optic Nation, it wasn't very difficult to acquire. But it did turn this team into something even more powerful than they already were.
Yeah, it gave this whole team a new dynamic, you know, 4 gods, if you will. You know, not taking anything away from Nate Shot. Played great in that, you know, 3 back-to-back tournament win streak for OG. But Karma, just another echelon, just adds a whole new dimension to this team. But they weren't the only team in a rivalry that made a roster change.
That's true.
FaZe also make a roster change, rivalry roster change. They go out and they pick up Zuma and Hook. Hook, obviously a young gun in the scene, wasn't able to compete at Champs.
Right.
And Zuma, disappointing on Envy, didn't do too well, finished top 12 at the event. But this team also looking like a new contender to really take out OG as well.
You still have that Slasher and Enable duo, Hook, who's just so good for his age and was really coming out to be a top player. And as you mentioned, you know, Zuma, a great player as well. So FaZe, they kind of change things up, get rid of Aches and Parasite. A lot of the arguments kind of disappear, and I think that was a good thing for FaZe at the time. But at this point, you looked at both those rosters and you looked at OG and you thought, Jesus Christ, like who is going to beat this squad?
Yeah.
And the answer was, for the next couple of events, no one.
No one.
ESWC, Gfinity, Karma couldn't currently attend those events, so ironically, OG pick up Enable from Team FaZe.
That's like total BM right there. We pick up one of our biggest rivals teammates and we go and win 2 European events.
Bad management.
And you also beat Aches in the grand final of Gfinity Spring with Prophecy. But yeah, they get those 2 wins, so that's now going to be 5 total tournament wins for OG on AW, and still in every grand final. But going into UMG Cali, the first event with Karma, they meet FaZe in the grand final.
And this one was pretty exciting. I'm not going to lie. We started seeing more and more of the FaZe versus Optic Gaming kind of matchups, and you know, UMG never really has disappointed for quality of gameplay. I feel like a lot of the best clips and the best games have come from UMG, and Cali specifically was a great one. You looked at both these 2 teams head-to-head in the grand final, and it was just insane the way this one panned out.
Yeah, I mean, this one, FaZe coming from the loser bracket, they end up taking the first series in a game 5, which we'll see highlights on your screen soon, after this retreat hardpoint. And at this point, we're like, oh, okay, so you win 2 events with Enable, you get your real roster together, are there going to be some issues trying to figure everything out? You lose in a game 5 to this new FaZe squad, who this is their first LAN event playing together as well, because not only was Enable on OG for those 2 European events, FaZe didn't even go.
Yeah, FaZe didn't go to those events, and that's one thing that we really should point out. When you look at the amount of times that these 2 have played head-to-head, there's a couple of events, as you said at the very beginning, where they didn't actually play against each other.
Right.
ESWC and Gfinity Spring Masters were one of those, of course, as we mentioned, though, Enable filling in, pick up the win. And a lot of people kind of looked at that as, you know, Enable got a lot of intel, and that helped him. And he's come out and he said, absolutely not. I just did the role they asked me to do, and I just played the game, and we won 2 championships. Simple as that.
Secret agent Enable.
I mean, Enable's a smart guy. You know, Halo champion, Call of Duty champion. He's a quick learner. Whether you think he could have learned that much or not, that's up to you guys. But look at the booth. Look at the booth, though. It's just so much energy when they took this first best of 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going in and you're saying, okay, can FaZe beat this OG team? Is OG starting to falter now? Like, first event with Karma not playing so well. But that really wasn't the case in Series 2. You know, that green wall switch just flicked, and all of a sudden, absolute dominance came out, and, you know, FaZe really just fell asleep. You know, Zoom and Hook didn't really show up in that second half of that series. But, you know, even think too, like, Enable, you know, playing that role that really Karma plays now for the team, he fits the role perfectly. And as AW has gone on, since he was on Justice, moving to FaZe, just gotten consistently better. Obviously, 2 events with OG. Just, like, not even like learning strats or anything, just evolving as a player, playing different roles, getting more consistent in the game. He's consistently gotten better throughout the entire season.
Of course. So Optic Gaming managed to come back in that second series, like you said. They take UMG Cali. Then it gets to X Games, one of the most hype events.
Second biggest event of the year.
It's awesome. Absolutely love X Games. You know, the first X Games was great. Second X Games didn't disappoint either. You know, Optic Gaming looking for that second gold medal. They meet FaZe once again in the grand finals, and this one was a pretty dominating performance. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from X Games.
Optic Gaming starting to mount a pretty nice lead here. Ben, you see two players at the top of the screen. They're going to be rotating over towards Garage. Players from FaZe spawning over by School. Optic Gaming is going to open up the floodgates. They're going to take a massive lead. No, 5 and 9 for Enable. Oh, dear. The formal just turns and burns out of it. No, Enable 5 and 10, Zuma 5 and 10. You need those two players to match the sub play of Karma and Scump.
Six manages to jump in and clean him up. Scump on your screen now. Of course, the regular Season 2 MVP, and of course, Season 1 looking to pick up his second X Games gold medal, but he's going to fall on the halfway over to Crim6. He cleans up Zuma. More players going to be challenging him. Oh, he's going to fall as well. So FaZe, when it doesn't matter, picking up some nice kills.
Yeah, FaZe picking up some time now, but the game already in Optic Gaming's hands. Going to be looking to see FaZe can gain some momentum here at the end, just get their guns hot, get a little bit of confidence, but Optic Gaming going to close it out.
And Karma now trying to make his way over towards the uplink drone. He bumps into his teammate, double jumps up, connects with a 2-point play, and that's now 7-2 in favor of Optic Gaming. Here in the X Games gold medal matchup, and the big concern now for FaZe is, you know, map number 3, they need to take the S&D. If they don't, this series is completely done. They're walking away with the silver.
And there you have it, 8-2, Optic Gaming leads 2-0 here in what could potentially be the final best of 7.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for them to get bombed, but look at this. There's two players directly in front of Scump. Knows exactly where they are. He's going to boost jump over. Going to try and see if Formal can pick up one. Hook going to get a kill. It's going to be a 1v1. Slasher against Scump.
Oh! The king!
Zuma in a 1v3. It's going to be very hard for him to win this one. He's not in a good position at all. With the ASM-1, going to be so hard going up against the ARs of Optic.
And now he's given up his position. 1-on-2 here, spotted and tagged up by Crim. Waiting for the push from Karma, and there it is. Optic Gaming takes 3 straight here in the gold medal match.
Hang on, Seth.
Watch out mid, watch out mid, watch out intel, watch out intel. 2 behind Damon. I got get re. If you get re, Damon's on it. Hurry, quick.
Nice, good job.
Nice. They're on a base, guys. They're on a base.
Our lobby in on.
It's going huge here in the last 30 seconds of CT. With a kill, not able to get a return. Nobody in position for FaZe, it looks like, Ben.
And that is going to be that. Optic Gaming, back-to-back X Games gold medalists. Scumpy with his second gold. Unbelievable performance from them here at the X Games, Matt.
Just huge plays in the final seconds in CTF right there.
As we said, Max, since that change post-champs for Karma over Nadeshot, they go on and they dominate 4 events on the Trop course 2 without Karma when Enable had to fill in overseas. But the 2 in North America were just so dominating from them. I mean, that X Games final wanted it to be close so much, but it just wasn't. And then that brings us to the head-to-head after X Games. So grand final appearances, 8 for OG, 7 tournament wins. To put this into perspective, the only grand final Optic weren't in up until this point was COD Champs.
Yeah.
And every other tournament, they won.
That's nuts. And, I mean, or been in the grand final.
Or been in the grand final, sorry.
Yeah.
And they'd won 7 of them, except for AW at the very beginning. AW Open.
And they finally get the lead in the head-to-head, you know, 3-2 over FaZe.
Yes.
Season 2 record, FaZe did a little bit better going into X Games.
They did.
27-17. But still, one of the most shocking things, FaZe only won 2K, 5K, or 10K.
How weird is that?
That's extremely strange because all these players also, you know, pretty good online.
Yeah.
But, you know, at this point, you start having like likes of TJ Halley and Temp on Elevate. They start getting on the roll. You know, Denial starts looking really good as well. But, you know, start to flutter off a little bit after Champs, which is also really important to point out too, because Denial completely bomb out of this event.
Right.
They finish outside of medals, extremely disappointing. They lose to OG at ESWC. They fail to make the grand final at Infinity. And X Games really was the nail in the coffin for this roster. It was like, all right, you know, boys, it was fun. We won Champs.
Peace out.
But, you know, See you later.
And that opened the door, of course, for FaZe, who at the time were trying to find the right formula. They'd beaten Optic already earlier in the year, but since then, Optic and the Green Wall just dominated that kind of midway through the season. But changes were coming, that's for sure, for FaZe. For now, though, a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll take a look at exactly what FaZe did right to find the formula for success.